Hello friends, my name's Katie. This is my 1954 Steel Clipper. This is the first video that we're shooting on it, and it looks a lot different than it did when we brought it home. But we wanted to stabilize it in 2020. We knew we weren't going to be able to work on it a lot right away, but we wanted to keep it from rusting any further. So when we got it here, we pressure washed it, then we sandblasted it and coated it with OSPO. Then we put a coat of primer and one coat of black paint to seal it. And the same with the sides. And I don't know if you can see this in the camera. We'll zoom in really good here. Our first coat, I don't know what was wrong with the roller, but we rolled it out and you can see all the hairs from the roller just stuck right in the paint. So we gotta sand this down again. We're gonna do the whole boat anyways because it needs another coat, but we're gonna sand all this down again and get a nice clean coat on it. We just pulled the cover off today. I've been kind of just working on the floorboards in the cockpit here, but you can see we didn't do anything on the back last year other than sand it down a little bit, and we're gonna probably work on that, finish sanding it down in OSPO the rest of this and put a coat on it, a primer. And this is a 2-owner boat. There was one name on it, and when we sanded it to smooth it out and OSPO it, we discovered another name on here, and you can see that this one says Grosse Ile, this one says Dearborn. And then you probably won't be able to see this, but there's a K-E-Y-A-H, Kia was the original name on the boat.
Tell them about the keel and how the keel was all bent.
Okay, well, when we went to look at this boat, there were no pictures in the listing of the keel, but the keel was bent. And my husband took his Porta Power and some hooks, and he was able to get it straight again, which I mean, it looks fantastic. He did a wonderful job. Then obviously you can see the propellers are missing, and the keel was bent because when they set it down on the trailer at the yard, they put a load on the keel, and the keel's not load bearing. It's just there for in the water for the boat. It's not there to hold weight, and so they set it down on the skeg, and it couldn't hold the weight, and it bent it.
How do you know it's not supposed to hold weight?
Because it's like a fin in the water. It's just meant to. So in my research about the company, I came across a article where they tell you how to maintain the paint and everything, and then the skeg, and they make sure to tell you it's like a bullet point. Don't put weight on the skeg because it's not load bearing, and they explain how to put the boat on the trailer in detail.
Or block it.
Or block it so that you don't bend the skeg. So these are really cool. I don't know if any of you have seen these on a boat before. Some boats have them. These are propeller guards. So when you're going down the lake or the ocean or wherever you're at, the river, if you come across a log or anything in the water, these help minimize the chances of damaging your propellers or having a propeller strike. Alright, so it's kind of cool. This is how we know that this is the 29th 32 footer that they made out of 96 or 98 boats. Is this, they stamped it right into the cleat. 32 foot, 29th, number 29 hull. It's the 29th 32 footer that they built. You see here, you can see the 2 fuel tanks and the steering linkage is here. And I was just working today trying to scrape up the rest of the linoleum, get it off the deck. And we're just kind of cleaning it right now, getting it ready to really start working on it. So here's the helm. This was all rippled up because there was Luan up here, and my husband will put it in there, but I peeled all this up. It was really cool. There was the original canvas was still on here, and it had the coolest color on it. I was so excited when I seen it. You can see over there, that's the original canvas right there that came off the dash. And so we did that today. We're just kind of piddling around and cleaning up. All right, this is the helm. The ship's wheel isn't here. The tack is down in here. And as you can see, it's all original. I love that it says the Nordberg Powered. It's like fantastic. It's got these little fish dolphins. I'm not even sure what you call that, but they're cool. It's all original. Very cool. Yep. It has all of the original Morse controls, which is cool. I don't know what else to say.
Down there?
This? For the engine, isn't it? For fumes? Yeah. So, I'll write from the top. I would not make a good actor. They would be so mad at me. Okay, the headliner is not here. It's very bare above me. But it was all here when we brought it home. You can still see the pins that held the headliner in. We just took it down. We wanted to make sure there wasn't any rot. Everything was solid. The pins, what about the pins? I just said that they were in there.
They're original.
Yes.
That's what they use.
We had a debate, my husband and I, looking at the pins, and I was like, man, these are so cool. I mean, they're just little pins. They're all like dented, and they're not really stylish at all. They're so plain. But he's like, no, those aren't original. Somebody redid this canvas. But in my research, I found other boats with original pictures of the canvas, of the headliner top, and those pins are the original pins that held the headliner in. So then this is really cool too. These are the original straps that held in the side curtains. Unfortunately, it didn't come with the side cover, with the canvas cover. But we have something to go on to make the straps and stuff for the cover that we're going to make for this boat. This here, I forgot what they call the backlight. The stern light, yeah. So this here, the stern light was missing, but it's all wired for it. All the wiring's there and everything. Oh, let's take it. Well, I want to show the handle for the spotlight. The original spotlight is still on the boat, and that's probably my favorite feature because these boats were made kind of rugged and tough. And I don't know if you pay attention to a lot of boats, especially big boats and Lakers and stuff like that, when they're coming into port, especially at night. They got those big searchlights so they can see where they're going and if there's anything in front of them. And I just thought that was really cool that this had the big spotlight on the top still. Cabin light. And there was the horns over there, but you can't see that right now. So the horn is still up on top of the roof too, which is awesome. So I'm gonna bring you down here in the cabin and I'll show you the cabin. So we've already taken out the cushions and stuff and the table for the dinette, so it's bare right now. But when we came in here first, when we cleaned it in the fall of 2020, when we brought it home, I wiped down the table and it was covered, I swear, with like an inch of dust. But we wiped it down and it was like brand new. The cushions were all in here. Here's the kitchen. And this wiped clean. It's dirty again now, obviously, but this, I mean, you can see how clean it is and almost unused. It's very, like, new almost. It's cool. So we gotta have a little sink. You have a little shelf for store whatever you want. Probably mostly dishes is what you'd keep up there. Just a couple of hooks for your hanging. The original, they're so hideous, but they're cool. The original lights overhead lights are, the bulbs are missing. I think there's a bulb in the other one over there. You can show them. The one over the dinette here too.
No, these were the ones that ran off the generator.
These lights, the one over the kitchen and the dinette, ran off of the generator. And here's the other lights that were the 6-volt lights, and there's one here, and there was 2 on the dinette side. One is missing, and then one over the I don't know what you call it. Is it a divan or bed/couch area there? The original, nobody ever changed out the fridge, which is like one of the first things to go on old boats usually. So this is really cool. Very 1950s. You know, you got your little ice box, and it's big. I mean, there's a lot of room in there. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, ice box, freezer. Okay. Sadly, I can't show you the bathroom because the doorknob is stuck right now. It might need some refurbishing, the door handle, to get into the bathroom, or maybe just we'll remove the hinges and take it off the other way. But so when the door gets opened, we'll show you the bathroom. So you got a nice big shelving area under the sink for whatever you want to store. You could probably put some, I know we need a light. I should have had a light, but all right. Then we'll go into the V-berth here, which is fairly roomy. I have the big wood board here, but it's pulled out right now because we were cleaning down in the bilge. So this is the bed area. Sleeps at least 2. I got some storage underneath. Nice big, nice big cabinets on either side. So you hang your stuff for storage, whatever you want. Two more 6-volt light switches up above. And nice portholes. I have one of the portholes. The other one was missing, but we'll figure that out. And we got just a little bit of work to do. We didn't pull the headliner out in here yet, but this will come down eventually. More of the nice little pins that hold it up. And then you get up here, we have a beautiful, you see this is hanging down still from our work in 2020 when we sandblasted the deck. And I didn't want all of the sand in the boat, but it didn't do a whole lot of good. We still got tons of sand in the boat. So that's kind of what I'm working on now, is just cleaning all this up, getting all this junk out of here. And then the next step is to sandblast or needle, what do you call it? Needle gun the ledges there. And OSPO those and get those all cleaned up real good so that they don't deteriorate any further. This is the coolest part. Let me move this out of the way. I thought this was so cool, and it took me a while to figure it out. And actually, I didn't even figure it out. My husband finally was like, oh, I know what that is. But this is a gravity-fed water tank.
Show them.
So you fill this tank with water up on the deck. There's a little hole, you unscrew the cap and fill that with water. And then you can see these hoses are connected to this tank, and they both run down each side. There's one on the left and the starboard and the port side. And this one runs down and feeds the bathroom sink. And then, and the toilet? Would it have fed the toilet? I'm not sure. It's probably just the sink. And then the one on this side runs down when that feeds the kitchen sink. So that was cool, I thought. Very simple, no pipes to get clogged up and no pump, no nothing. You just, as long as there's water in the tank, you have water. That's cool. So, and then obviously we have, the anchor locker and the chain and or rope locker. I dropped it. It fell out of my back. So there's no door here.
Why?
But as adults, there's going to be a door because you probably want privacy at some point. The door is not on, and I don't know why they took it off, but when we found the boat, the door was laying up on top of the top bunk, and so we just didn't put it on. It was going to be in the way while we were cleaning and whatnot anyway, so that's in storage with the rest of the parts that we took off the boat, like the table.
Go ahead and tell them
Like-
about the table, cushions, everything.
Yeah, so the tabletop came out and that's in storage, and that was in even better shape than what the kitchen countertop was in. I mean, it was just fantastic. Both of the cushions, they're gonna have to be redone because obviously they're 70 years old, all the stitching pulled out, all of it. But it's not right. It looks like this. It looks like it was brand new still. You know, it just needed to be cleaned. But the fact that the stitching all pulled out, and you can see here, if it hadn't pulled out, I would have just wiped this right down and just used these. But the stitching's all pulled out and rotted after 70 years. So we do have to make new dinette cushions, and we will redo this one and the bottom one just so that everything matches. When we brought the boat home, there were no V-berth cushions. So those we'll have to measure those out and just make those from scratch. As you can see, there's holes at my feet. I don't know if you can see that or not. Two on the one side and one on the other. Those are the drawers. So this is storage drawers, and I have those. And I took those out so that I can clean them up and refurbish them to put them back in. I know I'm saying a lot. I apologize for that. The windows are cool because, I mean, they're square on the inside, but as you know, when you see the outside of the boat, you can see they're rounded and have a cool shape on the outside. They're hopefully easy to take apart on the inside because it looks like they're just straight boards and pinned up. So they'll be easy to take off to hopefully, maybe if we need to, redo the tracks and stuff that they run in, and the weather stripping that the windows sit in. So.
Go ahead.
All right, so this is where we're at today with the boat after pulling the cover off. And we're gonna be videoing from this point forward. There's that again. The engines do not run. The engines are 110 horsepower Nordberg bullets. They are Hercules flathead 6s that they put Nordberg Marine conversions on. As far as we know, they last ran in 1971. So we have to tackle those still. And I am going to need my husband's help for that. So I'm glad he's around. I haven't found much on the Nordberg's bullets. There's not too much. I mean, Hercules flathead 6s were pretty common. So I don't know if we'll be able to get them run. We oiled one down. One of them will crank over. The other one was, yeah, the one cranks over by hand. The other one was seized, and we oiled it a couple of times over the last 2 years. So I don't know if it's going to turn over or not. That's something we'll address in a video when we come to that.
What's next this week?
I don't know what's next this week. This week, I am cleaning out the boat. I have to get down in the bilge and clean out the bilge all the way down, and then hopefully I will be able to attack the ridges that I still need to needle gun and then OSPO and paint them so that they're sealed up to prevent any more rusting at where the ledges are on the hull, on the inside of the hull. So that is where we're at today. And every week I'm going to be working on this probably all day, every day. But every week I'm going to put out a video of the progress and the headaches and things I get stuck on, things I'm frustrated with. So drop some comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, just ask, you know. Give us a like and subscribe so you'll get our videos as they come out every week.